faithful. Come on, Pastor Haynes.
Yes, sir. Oh, God is faithful. That's good news. God is so faithful. When life is fickle and frustrating, it's good to know that our God is faithful. You do know people can be fickle. You do know that life can be frustrating. But the good news is, in the midst of the fickleness of people who are with you one day and against you the next day, in the midst of a life that is frustrating, that will cause you sometimes to wonder if you can even make it through, the good news is that God is faithful through it all, and God's faithfulness will help you get through the frustrations. God's faithfulness will overrule the fickleness of people. I love it, because when we say God is faithful, it means that what God has been, God still is, and God will be. I love that, because when the Bible talks about God's faithfulness, it says there is no shadow of turning with thee. You change not. You see, God doesn't change. God is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. So the same God that made a way yesterday can make a way today and tomorrow, because the God, watch this, who was, is, and will be. What God has done, God still does, and God will do, because God is faithful. And listen, God has been faithful. God faithfully has kept you. God faithfully has opened doors for you. God faithfully has blessed you, because God is still in the blessing business. So since God will be who God has been and still is, the good news is God is faithful. I call you faithful. But not only that, I love it when Donnie McClurkin says, you know what, I call you awesome, because God is awesome. God is so awesome that there is nothing too hard for God to do. God is so awesome that God has power, not just power. God has all power. So whatever you're going through, it ain't too much for God. God can do anything but fail. God is awesome. But then Donnie wraps that thing up and says, I call you all that. That's all you got to say. God is all that you need. God is all that you need when you're going through what you're going through. God is all that. So since God is all that, don't trip on people being fickle. Don't give up when life is frustrating. Just know that God is faithful, God is awesome, and God is all that.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen, the senior pastor of Friendship West Missionary Baptist Church, Dallas, Texas, Pastor Frederick Douglass Haynes. Pastor Haynes, let everybody know how you can be reached.
Hey, thank you, Rickey Smiley. You can follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at FH Unscripted. I'm on Facebook, Frederick D. Haynes, and my YouTube channel is Frederick Haynes.